any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Canelo, choose one, please.
Guys, we gotta go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? It's just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy. He's better.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, has drawn a line in the sand. He's boldly calling out Floyd Mayweather, making it clear he's ready to risk his perfect record. At the peak of his career, Crawford wants nothing to do with exhibitions. He's demanding a real fight.
He said afterwards, "You are better than Floyd Mayweather."
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When you heard that, what did you think?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know. I don't go off of that.
Rumors of a clash between Terence and Floyd Money Mayweather have sparked a storm. It's a challenge that could force Mayweather to risk the one thing more valuable than money, his untouchable legacy. The boxing world flipped the night Crawford battled Canelo Alvarez. That was Crawford's defining moment, the reward for years of frustration where he was branded the sport's most avoided man.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev.
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo though?
A tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
That struggle was so exhausting that Crawford admitted he was close to retirement if the career-defining fight with Errol Spence hadn't materialized.
Fight happened, it happened. If not, then, you know, it just be one of those fights that go down in history that didn't happen. You know, it's numerous of fights that didn't happen. Do I want the fight? Absolutely, yes. Have I tried to make the fight? Absolutely, yes. Do I want the fight after this fight? Absolutely, yes. Like, of course, you know, but if it doesn't happen, then it's out of my power. I can't, you know, make the man fight. I can't make the man, you know, go against, you know, what he stands for with his team and all that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to continue to do what I do.
How was this particular weight cut? Was it a very difficult one, or did you feel at ease with the weight cut?
I mean, it's always difficult, but, you know, like I said, I don't make any excuses. The better man won tonight.
At last, on the biggest stage, he proved himself by dismantling Canelo. He became the first male boxer in the four-belt era to be undisputed in 3 separate divisions, a historic achievement.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts. including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
The win crowned Bud as the pound-for-pound king. But the true shock came after the fight. In the post-fight press conference, a humbled Canelo Alvarez, who had faced both legends, made a stunning admission.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
He later explained just how tough Crawford was as an opponent, making it clear how much respect he had for Bud's challenge.
We already know, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just no let me go.
Floyd Mayweather's legend was built on the art of hitting without being hit. But his brand is about more than numbers. It's about his image as TBE, the best ever.
When Floyd says TBE, the best ever, he's told me, I'm not even talking about in the ring. Someone else can have that. He's talking about playing the whole game. Then you have an argument. Playing the business side of it, not getting hit, getting out undefeated, making a ton of money.
So how do Canelo's words land with him? Watching Crawford achieve what he never did, becoming a 3-division undisputed champion. Does Mayweather feel a spark of pride or a challenge to his ego?
I'm not disputing your story, but I can see the money getting crazy after that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you'll see reports. You mentioned $100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten $100 million for a fight, not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130. Wow. There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year over Cristiano Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is, and there's public companies they do business with. HBO would be one of them. Find an executive to back the claim. It's never happened, and it won't be.
When there's a percentage split between Floyd and Pacquiao, I'll just say this: on the Monday after the fight, we wired him an advance, and the advance was $100 million. Someone comes to me with a 9-figure check and says, "We need your signature in order to release this."
Wow.
And that's when it set in. It's like, wow, we're at a different level.
Yeah.
This is the same Mayweather whose career drew criticism from analysts like Max Kellerman for cherry-picking opponents after leaving lightweight. Was it caution or the brilliance of a strategist protecting his empire? That question has a new edge today.
They say Floyd did it in 4, but he had a weight stipulation where Canelo couldn't weigh in as a full junior middleweight. I don't count that. That's not a junior middleweight. That's 3 for Floyd.
What do you have to say to that?
I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152 and a half. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152. But after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170.
And actually, I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
In a twist, that same calculating mind made an investment in his supposed rival. Before Crawford fought Canelo, Floyd quietly bet $50,000 on Bud, walking away with $124,000.
And was, yes, I saw you placed a bet, won a lot of money. Congratulations. What are your thoughts? What was your reaction to the fight, Floyd, as you watched Bud and Canelo in there on Saturday?
Oh, it's good for boxing. It was exciting. The best man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so.
It looked like a classic money move, but fans couldn't help asking, was it just business? Or did he see Crawford as a challenge too big to ignore? Fueled by Canelo's words, the debate exploded.
Crawford. Believe Crawford, even though, fought twice, throughout the year, Crawford, was...
But look who he beat.
Undisputed.
Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence, and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few
it was
years
different.
out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on him. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
What do you think of Bud's performance last week, man? What do you think of Bud's performance last week?
Man, great. Bud always been like that. But I would question salary. You know what I'm saying?
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him probably going to 160.
I wouldn't that was crazy. He looked at excellent. He looked at excellent.
The dream matchup of a prime Crawford versus a prime Mayweather split the boxing world. The closer you look, the more complex it becomes. Floyd, for all his genius, showed rare cracks against fast southpaws like Zab Judah. Crawford is more than a southpaw. He's a dangerous switch hitter, the deadliest version of that puzzle.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome and more angrier and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there and take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I know from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then, and he got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He
got hit with some single shots going out. He's going out and Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
Yeah. And sometimes that smile can be a lie. And sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
This would be a war of ring IQs. Mayweather's genius lies in control, in defense, in trapping opponents in a web they can't escape.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo to me.
Crawford's genius is ruthless and adaptive. He downloads data early, studies every move, then dismantles his opponent piece by piece.
Yeah, I like him. I'm leaning Bud. Yeah.
He's slick, man.
Yeah.
He's slick. He's super intelligent. Like, he sets traps, he does stuff, and then, there's a bunch of great breakdown videos of particularly the Errol Spence fight, like him setting traps. It's just, he's a very high-level guy, but Canelo is dangerous. He broke Billy Joe Saunders' whole face. Broke his whole face. What he did to Amir Khan, remember that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. And never been down. Never been dropped. Canelo's a stud. Yeah, Terence.
Canelo, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight. I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it no matter what. In the scorecard, we lost it.
Well, you're the best. You're the number one
rematch?
fighter in the world. And
Thank
I
you.
think keep shining. You want the rematch, Canelo?
Could Crawford's mind finally solve the Mayweather code that 50 others failed to crack? When asked, Crawford's answer was confident, me. But Jeff Mayweather insists Floyd's defense and experience are unmatched.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So.
What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
How are you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, it sure, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But he want to
make himself look like he did something great.
The rumored condition isn't complicated. It's brutally simple. Crawford won't accept an exhibition. He demands a real, sanctioned fight. That would put Floyd's sacred 50-0 record on the line, forcing him to leave the safety of exhibitions and risk everything.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going out that much.
Now,
since retiring in 2017, Mayweather has only fought in exhibitions against YouTubers and MMA fighters.
What is MP Promotions, Netflix, Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MP.
Carefully staged events have protected his record. Crawford's demand changes that. It would force Floyd to gamble everything against an undefeated, undisputed monster in his prime. The only question, who could fund it?
Some great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was done before that ever started.
And he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight. Yeah. He needed shoulder surgery before the fight even started.
The answer lies in today's new boxing era. With Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh rewriting the sport with limitless money, impossible fights are being made overnight. Streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon are also hungry for blockbusters, and a Mayweather-Crawford clash could be the ultimate global event, drawing millions of subscribers. The money is out there, and with it, the chance to lure Floyd back. But the journeys of both fighters were built on struggle, not comfort. Crawford's biggest fight wasn't in the ring, it was against his own promoters. His messy split from Top Rank included lawsuits and accusations of racial bias, leaving him the outcast king.
Well, I'm pretty sure my decision is made already. Bob couldn't secure me the Spence fight when I was with him. So how you gonna secure me the Spence fight when I'm not with him? So, I'm moving forward with my career right now, and I wish everybody the best.
Mayweather's own greatest victory, his record-shattering fight with Manny Pacquiao, remains clouded in controversy. And 4 infusion before the fight was later cleared, but for many, it left questions about the legitimacy of that historic night.
Now, in the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pretty with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believes God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, what should I do to get into heaven? He says, sell all your belongings. And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Both men's perfect records hide scars of conflict. For Crawford, beating Mayweather would be the ultimate validation. For Floyd, it would be the ultimate risk. A loss that would shatter his aura of invincibility built over 2 decades.
I saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course.
We've seen Crawford's ability to break fighters mentally as well as physically. As Sean Porter said, he didn't just beat Canelo, he broke his spirit. Crawford fights with a relentless will, while Mayweather built his empire on flawless defense. The collision of these two forces, Crawford's adaptable offense against Mayweather's perfect defense, is boxing's ultimate fantasy fight. In today's era of impossible fights becoming real, Crawford versus Mayweather may never happen, but the thought alone is enough to set the boxing world on fire.